don't know why the hell we even brought Henry to the From. We could have just took Henry up the street to a bar, because the only thing Henry does in the From is drink alcohol. That's all he does. Jim, go back to writing the questions on the wall, baby. Like, Jim, go do something useful. Please make sure you do all the things. Like the video. Hell, hit dislike on the video, my nigga, because I know y'all love the show. So go ahead, hit dislike. Go ahead, do it, because I was not feeling this episode. Hello, beautiful people. I'm Nikki, and in this video, we will be discussing Season 3, Episode 8 of the series From. Y'all know how I do. We're going to break this down, and we are going to start with Blockhead Julie, and we are going to get into the latest. Oh, the From gave us answers, but really it's just more questions. Randall and Julie, as we know, last episode they came across this archway that Julie wanted to explore. Randall had the good enough sense to say, nah, babe, we need to get the heck up out of Dodge City. And now this episode, Julie is leaving the clinic where she stayed because her family was away. And she is again trying to tell Randall, you know, we need to go out there. Maybe it could help us. You felt something. I felt something. Now, baby, you would think in the From, we wouldn't be playing games like this. Randall tries to tell her there is nothing here that wants to help us. And that plays into my theory that everything here is the From and is evil, including the boy in white, including the Ankui kids. Anything that we may perceive as helping us is really not here to actually help us. That is my theory, and I feel like a lot points to that. But Randall goes to tell her there is nothing here that wants to help us, because Julie has the misguided idea that coming to this archway because her screaming in her head stopped means that there is something there that can help them. And I'm just like, Randall, now you're talking some sense. You know what? Ever since Randall got attacked by them monsters, he got a little sense in him. He has been a lot more tolerable. He done had his ish together. The second Julie gets home, I mean the second she walks into the door, Jim is walking out. Jim is insufferable. I cannot stand him. So Ethan was going to just be left home alone, because he was literally walking out the door as Julie was walking in, and Jim decides to leave his kids to go tell Jade how much he cares for his family. But we're going to get into how Jim treats his family like his possessions and treats his wife Tabitha like a child. We'll get into that later. Now, of course, Julie does not heed Randall's warning, and she decides, because they never have parental supervision, that it is a great idea to take her little brother out to this archway to investigate it. Like, she literally knows nothing about this archway. She goes to tell Ethan the screaming in her head stopped for the first time, and that something wants her to go there. And then she makes the statement, hey, it's just a pile of rocks, right? First of all, it's not just a pile of rocks when you saying that there is something pulling you there. Second of all, we're in the From. Nothing is just the anything. Like, nothing is just a pile of rocks when we're in the From. A down tree is not just a down tree when we're in the From. So Julie and Ethan go together and hold hands and go to walk through this archway, when suddenly Julie isn't holding Ethan's hand anymore. She is now back in that dungeon where we met Martin and where Boyd was at when we were out in the woods. Remember, our tent got dragged and all kind of stuff went down, and Boyd ended up here. And we see Randall, Julie, and Marielle chained up, screaming the way we saw them before Boyd broke the music box and got them out of their trance seizure-like experiences. And really, though, Ethan is still standing right there in the woods, and Julie is on the ground back in that like seizure-like state that she was in. So Ethan goes to run for help while Julie is in that little coma-like state again. Now, Ethan ends up running into Kenny and that insufferable cop and is screaming for help. So they run. But in the dungeon with Julie, she sees Martin, and she hears Boyd from the previous season when Boyd was stuck and someone had to toss him the rope. And come to find out, it was Julie. For me personally, I'm not of the crowd, oh my God, we got answers, it was Julie who threw the rope. I don't give a fuck about Julie throwing that rope. I'm being honest with you. How long ago did that happen? I haven't been thinking about that. I don't give a shit about that. Like, do you know how many loose threads we have since season 1? I don't even give a shit about that stuff no more. I'm being honest. Like, we're at season 3. I could care less about who threw the rope. And of all the loose threads to tie up, this is at the bottom of the list. I don't give a ish about this rope. Like, we're too far gone. We're too far removed. At least I am. I could care less. We have bigger fish to fry. We have bigger and better loose threads to tie up. And of course, though, from fashion, you never just get a answer. It just all leads to more questions. So now we have introduced some type of time insidious astral projection, but instead of going out into the further, we go out into the past. And if we are astral projecting, how does she touch a rope? We also see her go into the tunnels, and she hears when Victor and Tabitha first went into the tunnel. So she's doing some type of astral projection, time traveling thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm so annoyed. I'm not even gonna waste my brain cells trying to put anything together, chat. Y'all tell me. At this point, since y'all still so invested, y'all tell me, because I'm not using my little brain cells. Like, this show is on my nerves. When we got here, I just was so annoyed. First of all, for Julie to do something so stupid and even come to this place, like, you're literally back in exactly what you've been scared of and running from and turning into a weed head because you want all of this to stop, and you just put yourself right back the hell in it, girl. Like, I just would think we would have a little more caution and a little more common sense where we are in a place like this. But I'm also just annoyed with the From and how we do answers. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of crap because everybody's like, oh, we got answers. What kind of answer? This is like dealing with a person that answers a question with a question. This is like dealing with a person who just talks you in circles to the point that you get all turned around and confused. They done said a lot but really ain't said nothing. Like, that is the From. That is the From writer. So Julie blockhead ass effed around and found out. And they end up, the second that they pull her out of this archway, she wakes up. And that is the end of Julie for this episode. But a few things of note, if I'm going to use just a pinch of brain cells to even give a damn. Martin did not know Boy's name, but he knew Julie's name. We have never seen the creature that he spoke of quite yet, because we have Martin go through saying like there's someone or something coming, something worse. Like, we hear all of that again. And also Martin knew Julie's name, and the creature, this is another loose thread that I have rambled on about before. I think it's when Julie and her family first get into town, it's nighttime, we're trying to run into Colony House. There is one of the creatures, one of the monsters that calls out Julie outside of Colony House in season 1. We literally never got a rhyme or reason, never went back. Like, it just happened because, this show is a series of things happening. Was that a young Martin? I don't know if that ties in together, but it was interesting and of note that Martin did not know Boy's name, but he knew Julie's name. And I don't know, I just feel like, and speaking of that monster that knew Julie's name, that's also why throwing the rope down for me is just unsatisfying. There's just so many loose threads that we could lay out all the way back to season 1, and honestly at this point I don't care. Like, literally at this point, I just don't even, I'm ready for Silo to just start up. Like, I'll be honest, I'm just ready for Silo to start because I'm ready to deal with the show that actually knows how to lay out a mystery. I don't know, some kind of way she actually projected into the past, baby. Okay, so let's get to Jade and useless ass Henry. I don't know why the hell we even brought Henry to the From. We could have just took Henry up the street to a bar, because the only thing Henry does in the From is drink motherfucking alcohol. That's all he does. He just hang around, he drink alcohol. I'm just wondering if the writers are going to give Henry anything to do besides drink, because the I drink and I know things has already been done. Like, I don't know what we're doing. So Henry and Jade are in the bar, and Jim walks in, and he's just all, it's done. You understand me? It's done. You know how Jim gotta do. Jim don't have nothing else to do, baby. So he gotta come in here and do this. So Jim goes on a tirade with Jade as if he was talking about his teenage daughter, but no, he's talking about his wife and how Jade is filling her head with ideas as if she's a 9-year-old. Jim literally treats Tabitha like a child, not like a grown adult capable of her own independent thought and decisions. And I would be damned if my husband went behind my back to stop some ish that I was actively a part of. Like, don't you go blocking what I got going on to tell somebody to stop. And like, what? And my whole thing is, what do you expect Jade to do? That the next time Tabitha come talk to him, just say, oh no, your husband said I can't talk to you about none of these theories and stuff, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what you're gonna do. Like, what does he expect Jade to do? Like, I'm so confused as to why you would go behind your wife's back and go to Jade. But Jade and Henry successfully puts Jim in his place, and Jade goes to say, like, I'm not finna have this argument, I'm not finna do this with you. Tabitha is a grown-up. If you have a problem with what she's doing, you should talk to her. And you would think the guy that builds roller coasters would have the common sense to know that, hey, if I have a problem with what my wife is doing, let me talk to my wife. But no, Jade had to tell him that. And then Henry goes to tell him, you know what, maybe if I can offer some unsolicited advice, the next time your wife is talking, just shut the fuck up. And actually, the advice that I want to give Jim is to just in general shut the fuck up. Can we please just kill Jim off? I want the first family of From to just go ahead and get killed the hell off the series. Like, I'm so over it. But obviously they have plot armor and they're like the focal point, one of the focal points of the show. Jim is insufferable. The whole storyline is insufferable because I don't even know what the motherfucking point is. Why the hell did we have to see Jim go to the bar and get into this little thing with Jade? Why did we have to see Jim and Tabitha up there arguing with the monsters yelling at them, child? Like, I don't even know what we're doing. I don't even care what we're doing. I don't even care what we're doing. I mean, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm so over this show. I'm sorry. I would really like to know what exactly it is that Jim expects everyone else to be doing. Jim isn't actively doing anything to try to get us home and out of the From, which is the whole, like, kind of purpose and point is we want to get home. You're not doing anything to get us home. Why do you want Tabitha to just, like, what? Get a 401k, find a nice retirement spot in the woods? Like, what exactly is his purpose in trying to convince his wife that you didn't dream of this place as a kid? You're not connected. Like, what exactly is the point of any of that? I just really feel like Jim treats his family like possessions. And the whole story about, oh, I just wanted to be a better father and wife. Well, baby, the bar must have been really low. The bar must have been low because you are a terrible father and husband. Like, I'm so sorry, sir. Like, literally, the irony of running out the door and leaving your son alone because he ain't know that his daughter was about to walk through the door. Like, the irony of leaving your kids to go argue with somebody about how much you care about your family. Like, just the irony of Jim is so ridiculous. Jim just has nothing to do. Jim is insufferable. I'd much rather Jim go back to writing the questions on the wall, baby. Like, Jim, go do something useful. I put a poll up on the community tab about how fed up I am with From, and I asked for all of you to vote and tell me your current From mood. 21% said still think I can solve it. Shout out to all of y'all for being Jade. 42% said still on the roller coaster ride. 9% said they were ready to burn it down, just over it. And 28% said don't even know what's happening. Baby, I feel like I'm a mix between the don't even know what's happening and just over it. But shout out to the majority who are the still on the roller coaster ride. And that is exactly what this is. A absolute roller coaster ride. Now let's move over to Sarah and Victor, which turns into Sarah, Victor, and Tabitha. Now, I don't like how we started the whole Jasper story with Sarah, then excluded Sarah when we actually went into the tunnels to get Jasper, but now we pop Sarah right back in. I don't know, it just irks me. But anyway, Sarah and Victor are together. And of course we know that the whole town blaming Sarah for the death of Tilly. But I went into the episode like, well, baby, Sarah got a solid alibi because she been with Victor all night. But this also plays into my critique that I have already said about season 3 being oddly edited. We literally get like an 8-second scene of Sarah and Victor, with Victor like fussing at Sarah. You're not doing it right. You need to get Jasper to talk. You're not good enough. And like the scene cut, like it is the shortest scene. Why do we keep doing this show like that? But again, we keep showing stuff that's very unnecessary. We do not need to see Jim running up on Jade. Like, we don't need to see Henry drinking with Donna, drinking with in the bar where Jade is at. Let's get a focus. In my opinion, please, sirs, ma'ams, people writing this show, like, can we just get a focus? But anyway, we got that little short 8-second scene, but we have Jim and Tabitha, where this is before Jim goes to Jade, and he's just all telling Tabitha, I know you want this to all mean something, and for, you know, this place has you convinced you have a connection with these children. And he finally goes to tell Tabitha about the phone calls from their dead son, but Sarah ends up popping up at their house. And I'll be honest, I don't know why the Matthews still have like an axe to grind with Sarah. Baby, the only people that should be mad at Sarah, like I have said a million times, is Kenny, because she actively killed his parent. She didn't kill anybody else's loved one but her own. And she tried to kill the Matthews son, but baby, like Brandy said, almost doesn't count. She did not kill your son. Like, calm the hell down. And since trying to kill your son, she saved your son and your daughter's life. For me, that should like cancel out the first act. Like, I don't know. That's just me. But y'all know I'm Team Sarah. But she goes and she's like, she wouldn't have come here if it wasn't an emergency. That Tabitha is the only person that Victor would talk to. He's spiraling. So then we end up seeing Victor, Tabitha, and Sarah. And Victor feels like Tabitha was there when he remembered he had a little sister, when he remembered Eloise, and he feels like Tabitha can make Jasper talk, and he needs her help so that Jasper would tell him the secrets that he told Christopher. And babe, when I wanted to smack fire out of Tabitha when she's like, he's just a doll. If everybody don't stop motherfucking saying that when we're in the motherfucking From. But needless to say, I have never seen Victor yelling like this. I've never seen him going off like this. He was completely unhinged. But shout out to that actor. Sarah and Tabitha are trying to get Victor to remember exactly what happened. So we end up coming to the conclusion that they were in a basement. And he heard Jasper talk. He saw Jasper talking to Christopher in the church basement. So we all go to the church basement. And that's when it is revealed that no, this whole memory wasn't right. It wasn't Jasper who was talking to Christopher, but the boy in white. So now when we get the flashback that we've seen multiple times, it changes, where we saw Christopher sitting in a chair and Jasper sitting in a chair talking to Christopher. This time we see both of them in a chair, but the boy in white is standing there, and he is the one telling the secrets to Christopher, not Jasper. So the boy in white goes to say things like the answers to the end are at the beginning. It started with the children, what others did to them, the people who loved them, the people who the kids loved, and the people who the kids trusted. And apparently the boy in white told Christopher to go to the tree, but Christopher wouldn't go to the tree. So Victor took it upon himself to tell his mother what the boy in white said. So Victor's mom wasn't chosen to save the children and go through the tree, which just kind of don't make sense, because she had the visions and did all the paintings. Like, she saw the Nkui kids, like, but apparently she wasn't the one that the boy in white gave the story to go through the damn tree child. He gave it to Christopher, maybe because Christopher saw the symbol, but whatever the hell. So presumably this memory has been skewed because Victor has some type of guilt for being the reason why his mother got killed. And if he would have never told her this, she would have never gone to tree led to her death, the night of the massacre, etc., etc. I told y'all my theory before and how I feel like it plays into it with what Randall said this episode, how nothing here is to help us. But also Christopher says the reason why Christopher does not do what the boy in white tells him is because Christopher says everything here lies. And I feel like we keep hearing how Christopher changed. He no longer made people laugh. I think maybe that's because he finally kind of understood this place and that no one is going home. Because y'all know that's my theory, that we will not get a happy ending. There is no going home. There is nothing here working for their good. I think Christopher realized that. I think Christopher realized he could not trust the boy in white, which I have been saying from the beginning. I've been saying the boy in white is evil. I've been saying the boy in white is the From. Like, everything is the From. I feel like the whole game of the From is kind of like that movie with Kate Hudson, The Skeleton Key, where they were trying to get her to believe in hoodoo because they couldn't use hoodoo against her unless she believed in it. And she went to use the hoodoo because she thought it would protect her, but really it was all a trick just so that we could get her. And I feel like that's what the From is. That's the whole thing with Sarah and Elgin. Oh, if you do this thing, it'll send you home and I can help you and I can get you out and you have to save the children and you have to do this. And I personally feel like it is all just a ploy and plot and game that the From is playing with these people, and the actions you're taking thinking it'll lead you home is really just going to be to your demise. Now, some stuff I find odd with this is we have been told quite a few times from Victor that he did not meet the boy in white until after the massacre, but that is not correct because he saw the boy in white talking to Christopher in the basement. And we're told about the kids that someone told them a story of hope, which led to them the hope going into the roots and creating the faraway trees, which, remember, one of my theories, I had said that I felt like this was similar to the people in Game of Thrones that ended up creating the Night King and them. I was like, I bet you them kids created this stuff, and I just think they all evil. But also, why did we spend so much time and have so much drama around Jasper when just to misdirect us and have it be the boy in white? I don't think that was necessary to prove that Victor is unreliable. We already know Victor's memory is unreliable. And then also, why did Jade meet Jasper? If Jasper wasn't the one in there talking to Christopher, why create the correlation between Jade and Christopher with the symbol with Jasper? Like, what was all that for? Now, let's get to Boyd and Fatima. They are in a shed in the woods, and Fatima tells Boyd what happened, and Boyd goes to tell her to stay here for the night, that him and Ellis will figure out a way to move forward, that she is his family. And let's remember, Boyd explicitly gave her instructions not to let anyone in this shed. She should not be trusting or speaking to anyone except him and Ellis. Now, this show really creates some very unlikable characters. I really can't stand a lot of the characters. And now we're gonna add it in the cop. Like, I don't know why we couldn't add somebody likable, but my baby Boyd is starting to really teeter over to one day unlikable. Boyd is on my nerves. Boyd is on my nerves. Now, Boyd and Ellis are in town, and Boyd's master plan is to say that Ellis and Fatima were with him last night. And I'm just like, okay, wait a minute. Won't it be suspicious that someone gets murdered and Fatima is nowhere to be found? Like, isn't that odd that she's just like, she goes ghost? Since when is Fatima just nowhere to be found? Like, I just feel like that doesn't make any sense. And then I feel like it's suspicious because since when does Ellis and Fatima not stay at Colony House? Like, I don't know. I just feel like this is the master plan. But Ellis wants his dad to just tell the truth. Like, tell the town the truth. Which I feel like, well, why the hell didn't we just do that? Literally, why the hell didn't we just do that? Boyd's whole thing, because Ellis wants to just be with Fatima, and Boyd's whole thing is that Ellis will not be safe from her. And I feel like I already told y'all that Ellis gave me the vibes of that guy in a zombie movie whose girlfriend gets turned to a zombie, but he won't let the other people shoot her even though she's not a zombie. That's what Ellis gives. Ellis is best crazy if he think that Tabitha literally just stabbed Tilly in the chest and won't do something to hurt him, baby. Because And I just don't understand why we're not listening to her. When she was in a shed, Fatima having a conversation with Ellie, she literally said, something is inside of me. Like, something did this, made me do this to Tilly. And I just feel like, are you not listening? No, Fatima would never do something to hurt you. But this isn't Fatima. There is something inside of her. I just don't understand what's not clicking and connecting. Donna walks her ass in. Donna conveniently walked in. Yet again. Baby, when I tell y'all love to say that Tilly a mole, Tilly a plant, Tilly evil, Tilly conveniently be it. Baby, Donna would be the plant before Tilly, because how the hell does Donna always conveniently walk in during a secret conversation and demands to know what's happening? Literally, Donna always conveniently walking in on a secret motherfucking conversation. And this is when Boyd finally tells Donna, because they spoke earlier in the episode, it wasn't Sarah, it was Fatima. And Boyd's whole thing is the town gonna have to just accept it the same way they accepted Sarah, because he told them to. And Donna is like, it's not going to work this time. It's not going to work with Sarah. They just swallowed it because you told them to. But they no longer believe in you like they used to. No one believes in you anymore. And they're not going to do what you just tell them to do. I don't like where it feels like this is going. We'll get into where I think this is going with Boyd. But I feel like this was a huge mistake. No matter what, the town is going to know Boyd lied about Fatima. Boyd had interactions with Kenny. I can see that getting fractured because Kenny gonna feel betrayed. Boyd lied to him. Like, Boyd has already set the lie in motion about not knowing that Fatima did this. Like, it's like it's too late. He done already said the lie. He done already set the lie in goddamn motion. Like, that's it. The lie has already been told. Donna goes to say, like, if you don't tell everyone, I will. This irks my nerves so bad because, first of all, it's just not even smart. Like, Boyd's whole cover-up idea just wasn't even a smart plan. But also, like, when he goes to tell the cop, when she's like, I guess the creatures don't kill people with gardening shears. Oh, yep, ma'am, maybe they could. They done put rods through people's head. Like, we don't know how the hell they gonna kill somebody. Like, I don't know. Just the whole way he went to go about this wasn't smart. But I just also feel like it just doesn't make sense that the man, the self-appointed leader, whose objective is to take care of these people, save these people. We used to write down how many days since somebody died. Like, whose whole objective is to be the leader who literally murdered his own wife, would now put his fake ass family, because his fake ass daughter-in-law, over the safety of the town. Like, essentially, with these actions, Boyd has turned his back on the town. And that, to me, does not fit the character of Boyd in the slightest. We have some random community house guy find Tilly dead. Kenny and Boyd and the cop is there. I don't know why. Baby, why the f*** is that cop here? Baby, once you get in my face, once you break into my home and ransack that motherfucker, I better not ever see you. Why the fuck was she just here? And then when the cop has the nerve to say, we should talk to everybody in the house, baby, what the hell do you mean we? What the hell do you mean we, ma'am? You were just my face last episode. Sit your ass down. Then for the writers to have the cop go up to a boy and say, hey, sheriff, we good? No, bitch. Is this cop supposed to be bipolar? Or is she supposed to have a split personality? Because the actions and it just does not match the last time she interacted with Boyd, all in his face, talking about you ain't doing such a good job, keep people alive and give me my gun. Like, bucking up on him like she not 110 pounds soaking wet. Like, she was so wait a minute. Now, she had a hard on for her gun last episode. She was motherfucking gung-ho about that gun as if it was a fucking tank of oxygen and she was about to go to Mars. So now what? She over it? She don't want the gun no more? Like, her and Boyd, like, what is going on? I mean, am I the only person who feels like 1 + 1 does not equal 2 here? Like, the cop's words, actions, attitude when we first meet her, the cop's words, actions, attitude at the town meeting, then after the town meeting when she go to Boyd with her suggestion, going to Nikki's grave, busting up in the diner with Kenny, ransacking and breaking and entering into Boyd's residence, getting all up in Boyd's face, As if he can't just smack the ish out of, like, she is literally 2 pounds soaking wet compared to boy. Like, but then this episode, we need to talk to people. Who the do you think you flashing her badge in Boyd's face last episode? Am I the only person that feel like none of this shit makes any sense? Literally, it makes no sense. Your characters are supposed to be like a certain person. They don't just flam. Like, what is the character motivations for this motherfucking cop? Because last episode it was that motherfucking gun. Like, she was acting like Boyd was holding her firstborn child hostage. That is how hard she was going. Like, it was over the top the way she wanted that gun. And now all of a sudden this episode, she just don't give a shit about the gun. I just really feel like if they take Boyd's power and replace him as sheriff with that motherfucking cop, make her sheriff, I'm literally not watching the show again. Like, I'm not even playing. And I know how much I hated season 2. And when season 2 ended, I said I wouldn't watch season 3. But this thread is for real. If they take Boyd and make that motherfucking cop sheriff, I'm literally out the door. Like, I'm literally done. Like, you gotta be kidding me. She walking around, we gotta talk to people. She questioning people. She investigating. Like, bitch, who are you? Like, if y'all don't get this motherfucking lady out of here fresh over that tree and they putting her in a position that she should not be in. Kenny is the pseudo deputy. No, he ain't really the deputy, but baby, he been here. He has earned a certain level of respect, a certain level of trust. Who gets this cop? We don't know this lady. And it makes no sense to me that when she's questioning people in Colony House, baby, we should have an attitude with her because she killed Nikki. Because they had an attitude with her and been calling her a whole... at the town meeting, when she went to try to talk, we had no respect for her. The town, when I say we. But all of a sudden, now we let her question people. Like, nothing adds up. Nothing makes sense. It's like the show just conveniently makes whatever happen. If they want somebody to be mad at somebody, they mad at them. If they want somebody to not be mad, they ain't mad. Because, baby, y'all was just at the town meeting, not having no respect for this cop, and she tried to talk. But now she questioning people? With no pushback? When Boyd and Donna had their conversation, when all of this is first discovered, and she initially says, we got to talk to Sarah. People are going to blame her whether she did it or not. Boyd, y'all mean to tell me Boyd was just going to let Sarah get her house burned down by an angry mob? I just really feel like at this point, I don't even like Boyd. Because what are we doing with him? This ain't Boyd. And then with the whole putting the cop in this position, when Kenny and the cop are questioning somebody in the community house, the guy goes to say, why are you talking to us instead of the one person in town who killed someone? Then she killed your dad. The cop don't even know about Sarah. Again, that plays into what is she even allowed in this position? Baby, you don't even know what the hell going on. You don't know nothing about nothing. You need to just sit the hell down, take note, and figure out where the hell you at. Like, none of this makes any sense. And that person in community house being an a-hole to Kenny makes no sense because y'all was just an a-hole to the cop. But why she ain't getting no attitude? Why she ain't getting no static? She got static and smoke at the town meeting when she tried to say something. Now, let's move on to Fatima and Elgin. Now, Fatima is left in the shed by herself. She is instructed by Boyd to not let anybody in that motherfucking shed. She does have a conversation when Ellis is out there where he is telling her, like, I don't care, we have to go live out in the woods. And she goes to say, like, whatever is inside of me is still there. What if I do it again? And once he leaves her, she ends up seeing the dead kimono lady. Now, this, to my memory, is the first time the dead kimono lady has appeared to Fatima. She has only ever appeared to Elgin. Now, while all of this stuff is happening throughout the episode, Elgin keep playing around with the Goosebumps camera. The camera keeps just snapping pictures for him, and he ends up getting some of his blood out to get into these like jars when he goes to the clinic to get like a little thing to like get the blood and everything, put the needle in his arm, and we end up seeing later Boyd and Ellis heading over to the shack with instructions for Ellis and Fatima to go out with the talisman. Stay like 4 or 5 hours away from town. Boyd will bring supplies to the shack for them to pick up every X amount of days or something like that. But baby, the shack is empty. And this made no sense to me. First of all, Fatima ain't even tight with Elgin like that. Neither is Ellis. We're supposed to be keeping a secret, not letting the town know you killed Tilly. Why in the world would it be logical to you that Ellis would entrust anything to Elgin? He done entrusted his dad. Why would he enlist Elgin? Like, that just ain't made no sense. Then, boy specifically told you not to let nobody in the shed, but Elgin just opens the shed door. Like, why the mother wasn't locked? Like, why would you go? Like, nothing about her going off with Elgin makes any fucking sense. But like I said, the show just conveniently just, whatever they want people to do, they just do. But this makes no logical sense. It's no way. And of course, Elgin plays the whole, Ellis is waiting for you. She shouldn't even fell for that. Now, would it have made sense if this was Tilly leading her somewhere? Yes, because she actually built a relationship with Tilly and had a certain trust with Tilly. But they don't have that relationship with Elgin. She don't motherfucking know Elgin like that. Like, she just literally kind of brushed him off in a previous episode when he went to try to take a picture of her and was telling him he was making this whole, colony house picture booth thingy. Once Fatima gets to this tunnel and where the secret room is, that's when she starts to get hip that, like, wait a minute, Ellis isn't actually here, and she tries to leave. And Elgin goes to say, you have to be here. It's the only place the baby will be safe. There is a baby. It's just not yours. He pulls Fatima, grabs her, forces her into the room. But the thing that don't make no sense to me, baby, where is the fire and anger inside of you that made you motherfucking stab Tilly? Why you ain't pull none of that out to fight against Elgin? And what I thought was odd is that Elgin was tight with Tilly. Elgin didn't show any reaction or care to the death of Tilly. And I already said that I was over Elgin's side plot with the kimono lady because it's just been dragged out so much. I don't even care anymore. Elgin entering his villain era isn't exciting. I already called it. I said he was going to be like a new version of Sarah. And this evil kimono lady, this From, was going to convince him to do something evil with the guys that it would get everybody home, just like the place tried to do with Sarah. And I also feel like, now I done already went in on Elgin and that character. Nothing about Elgin with this scene was giving aggressive. He was dragging Fatima like he was just acting like the black Kool-Aid man. Y'all remember the commercials with the Kool-Aid man? He used to bust through the wall and have a party for the kids. That's what Elgin was giving me. Like, y'all, I don't know. For me, it was so lackluster. It was very lackluster. Now, I mean, is it still an interesting side plot with Fatima and her pregnancy? Yeah, but tying in Elgin and writing it where he literally just walks into the shed and tells her, hey, Ellis wants me to bring you somewhere. First of all, baby, why wouldn't Ellis be? Ellis ain't on the run. Ellis ain't killed nobody. Why would Ellis send Elgin to come get you? Why wouldn't Ellis come get you? Then she even says to herself when he's bringing her to the place, like, why are we so close to town? Baby, you already know the plan. You talk to Ellis, you talk to Boyd, you already know y'all are supposed to be staying away from town. So why would the new plan suddenly be for you to be closer? Like, y'all, none of this made no sense. And then also, how the hell Elgin looks at a picture of the shed and just know where to go? Like, if you show me a picture of a house right now, I don't know how the hell to get there. It's just a picture of a house. Like, that don't tell you how to get the hell there. Whatever. Am I being too hard on From? The From answers are always a riddle. It's always answers that just lead to more questions. And where the fuck are the monsters? Where are the creatures? Why does each episode keep happening in all just daytime? We have not gotten any nighttime events for quite a minute. I feel like I'm not being too hard on From. I feel like I have literally been here since day one, early 2022. I'm tired at this point. Like, I'm literally tired. I just feel like this is not a satisfying way to do a mystery. Like, I have too many unlockable, insufferable characters. I cannot sit through that cop. I cannot sit through Jim. Like, it's not enjoyable. I just really feel like it's not enjoyable at this point. And maybe I'm just in the mode because I be up and down with From. Like I said, if you were here for my season 2 reviews, I said I wasn't even going to watch season 3. That's how fed up with the show I was. And I be up and down. When season 3 started, I was super hyped. I was excited. I was still invested. Now, I'm over it. Like, everything is just on my nerves. Everything is dragging out. We gave the bus driver a 2-second scene to go into the diner and tell Kenny, I want to talk to you about opening the diner. Cut scene. Like, I just feel like we need to focus on the important subplots. We do not need to show every single solitary character in every single episode, especially if they ain't got shit to do. What's the point? Like, I don't know. Y'all, that's my from temperature right now. Like, and I try to be real easy and light in this video because I know it's still a lot of From fans that are like in love with the show, but I cannot fake or hide that I thought this episode and last episode were letdowns. I'm so tired of everything happening in the daytime. At this point, the creatures are not even a motherfucking factor. They're not even a threat. Like, we've gone all kind of other places. We have diverted from certain things. I feel like I am back to my original theory that I had in season 1, that everyone will die in another town massacre and Ethan will be the last one standing and go on to be the new victor. But whatever happens, I do not think there will be a happy ending. I think that everything is the From. I don't think there's anything here trying to help us. Not the boy in white. Not any of this stuff we're trying to like figure out. Like, I don't think anything is working for us. Look, don't be in my comments with no motherfucking attitude either. Okay, don't be in my comments saying I want instant gratification, because that's y'all favorite. That's y'all favorite way to take up from. You want instant gratification? No, baby. I want a coherent motherfucking story that's not convoluted. Like, the From is convoluted. The From is convoluted. It's all over the place. We got sacrifice, time travel, visions, hallucinations, monsters, bottle trees, seizures, pregnancy we can't see, blood worms, Martin, boy in white, Jasper. Like, I could keep going. I just feel like this show, the way they want to tell their story, it just thrives on confusion and misdirection. Like, they just divert us to something, and then they divert us to something else, and then they divert us to something else, and then they divert us to something else. I really wish YouTube would have let me title this video From and They Kids. Like, From and They Kids. Like, that's how I feel right now. That's how I feel. Like, I'm over it. If you are still here, drop down in the comments and let me know you made it to the end. Also, let me know how you are feeling. Let's do a temperature check. What's your temperature with the From? Are you still fully invested? Are you excited? Did you love this episode? Did you feel differently from me? Drop down in the comments and let me know your opinions and your thoughts. If you disagree, that is perfectly fine. I'm glad you still enjoying the chat. Like, I'm so glad you enjoying it, because it took me forever to get this video done, because I literally was like, I don't even feel like sitting in front of the camera talking about this show. Like, I don't even care. And plus I didn't really want to go hard on the show, because I know y'all already got an attitude when I did that live with Julie and I said I couldn't stand Jim. Like, I ain't got time for the psycho, From fanatics coming at me. So I went a little easy on the From. But this episode was it was trash. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. But it was. Also, I did say that we would do a watch along for the final 2 episodes of From. I don't know if I'm still 100% invested in that, because, babe, when I tell you, I was just telling somebody, I don't even know if I can continue covering the show for my channel. Like, I don't even care about the show anymore. I don't even care to watch it. I'm not curious no more. I don't want no answers. I don't care what anything like, I literally feel like I just kind of really just don't even care. But let me know in the comments if you are still interested in me hosting a watch along for the final 2 episodes of From. I'll gauge everyone's, interest, and then we'll go from there. And hey, maybe my mood will change. Maybe I'll get excited and I want to see the final 2 episodes. I really doubt it. But hey, maybe it'll change. Maybe it'll change. But please make sure you do all the things. Like the video. Hell, hit dislike on the video, my nigga. Because I know y'all love the show. So go ahead, hit dislike. Go ahead, do it. Because I was not feeling this episode. Go ahead and hit the dislike button. Like, just do it. Go ahead, drop down in the comments and tell me that I'm just, not smart. Don't have a good attention span. I just don't get it. Go ahead. Like, go ahead. It's all good. It's all good. But thank you so much. And I will see you in the next one. Talking about Silo, a show that actually knows how to lay out a mystery. Okay.